to you alone, or if this is a particular trend?
Yeah, that outburst. That's what I'm about to explain that.
Yes.
Yes, so many people do not know what I'm about to say, but I'm going to speak my own truth. And the Senate President is allowed to counter that. It all started on the 8th of December, 2023, which was a day before his birthday and my birthday. We are birthday mates. We were all in Akpabio because he had a big fanfare in the stadium. Myself, my husband, and a few of his close friends, we went to Akpabio. And at first, we were at Ikot Ekpene. We were in his house in Ikot Ekpene. Then we all moved to his house in Uyo, which was about 8 p.m. And he held my hand and said he wanted to show me around his house. My husband was walking behind us, just three of us. We're walking around from room to room. He showed me the beautiful interior. This was done by this, by that, this designer here, he bought this from us. Like, oh, it's beautiful. And then I noticed that he hastened his pace while still holding my hand. And my husband was behind, still on his phone, but he was catching up whenever he could. And then he got to this particular sitting room, and he said, do you like my house? I said, of course, sir. Every room, beautiful, nice interior, quality taste. He said, now that you're a senator, I'm going to create a time for us to come spend quality moments here. You will enjoy it. At that point, I just pulled away, and I was like, I don't really understand what exactly that meant. But then my husband now, when I turned around, I saw my husband was already near me. And the way my husband looked at me and looked at him, I was beginning to wonder, did he hear part of that inciting statements or not? And then the Senate President, too, I saw that he also had that thought, like, did my husband hear the invitation to treat or not? So then the Senate President now said, oh, by the way, let me show you my chapel. He has a chapel in his house as well. So while we were going to the chapel, we walked in silence and all. So that evening, before we left the Senate President's house at about 11 midnight to the 4 points in Ikot Ekpene. And my husband asked me, Natasha, what did the Senate President whisper to you? What was he telling you? I thought, should I tell him that he was speaking about bringing me in here at a special time for us to have a good time? Or should I just kill it there, wrap it as if there was nothing? Because tomorrow was a big day. I know how much my husband adores the Senate President. He loves him as a brother. My husband would do anything to support him. So I told my husband, nothing. I can't remember what I created, but I just gave him some words to manage, to mask what was said. When we laid in bed, I lay to my right, and my husband wrapped his arms around me, and he said, my love, you can't tell me anything. What did the Senate President tell you? Again, I was like, don't you believe me? I said, nothing. Nothing. Moreover, it's my birthday in a few minutes. Let's just be happy. Then my husband told me he doesn't want to see me travel out of the country alone, and I should not go to the Senate President's house because he has a guest house where many senators do go there, after office to get approvals and all that. So I told him, okay, no problems. That was it. I thought that was going to be the end. But then, in February, I wanted to move a motion. I wanted to move a motion for the investigation on the ills of corrupt practice in Ajaokuta Steel Company. I listed that motion 5 times. It was the 6th time that it was listed on the order paper that was approved. Many senators can testify to that. Each time the motion is listed, just before he takes it, he will say, oh, Senator Natasha, we can't take this motion because the board of the Senate does not accommodate it. Or he will speak on others and then let it drag so that just before the motion is taken, the time will be well spent. So he kept on doing that. I went to him in his office. And I said, Senate President, you know how important this Ajaokuta Steel Company to me is. You know how important it is to my people and to Nigerians. I've noticed that you have stepped down this motion. As a matter of fact, a number of senators told me, go and see him and plead with him so that he would take it. I was like, sir, please, why can't you take this motion? It's very important. It's been listed. Then it was listed the 3rd time and stepped down. He then said, Natasha, I'm the chief presiding officer of the Senate. You can enjoy a whole lot if you take care of me and make me happy. At that point, I said, sir, I'll pretend that I didn't hear this. He said, well, the ball is in your court. I left his office, and when I got home, I told my husband, I didn't tell my husband what happened. I just told my husband, please, can you speak to the Senate President to allow my motion scale through? I think I also spoke to the DSP, to the leader, Senator Pemi. I spoke to a number of senators that they should please intervene and allow him to do that. I never told them what happened. My husband had to take a trip to London. Then the Senate President traveled to London. My husband met with the Senate President in London and pleaded with him, let my wife take this motion on Ajakuta. That is very important to her.
Okay. All right, Senator Natasha.
Said, okay, that he did not take it because he was protecting me. Hold on, please. He didn't take it because he was protecting me. Protecting me from what? Anyway, at the time my demotion was taken, it was the Deputy Senate President, His Excellency Barao, that actually sat. The Senate President stood up and walked out. So it was Senator Barao that actually took it.
All right, Senator Natasha.
And from there, many other incidents happened.
Yes, Senator
let's
Natasha.
Talk about the nightclub.
Yes.
Hold on, let's talk about the nightclub incident.
Professor Kila is going to ask you a question. I'm so sorry to have to interject here, but I just want to mention that, and I'm glad you gave the caveat at the beginning of your statement, that this is your side of the story, and the Senate President has the right to defend himself or to counter what happened between you privately. So what I assume, or for what you're saying, is that what happened last week Thursday began from a private conversation, and then you have felt like you've been maligned as a result of you not agreeing to certain propositions, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
what has happened?
Yeah,
you know the story of when a student keeps being failed.
Yes.
Please, let me say this, Ayo. You know the situation we see in universities whereby a student is continuously being failed just because she has not slept with the lecturer. That's what I've been facing, in simple terms.
Thank you. Professor Kila.
That is what I have been going through.
Thank you very much, Professor Kila.
Now, moving to, should I speak?
The way Natasha was speaking to the Senate President, I already knew that something was more, I already knew there was more to this, because you remember we are not in a nightclub, all those statements and all. I knew very well that this man was up to something, and I knew that it was about the sex issue. I knew this man wanted Natasha, because Natasha is very, very beautiful, extremely beautiful, and this man will go to any length to have his way. And you see, this is why most of these women who go to the Senate can never move some women who go to the Senate, you see them that when they can't move, they move motions, and they cannot do certain things, they can't demand for certain respect, because they do with so many presidents, Senate presidents, and sometimes Speaker of the House, you see, House of Reps and all. But if you know your onions, if you know that you cannot do certain things, like I don't know how to explain it, if you know you're right, and you know that once you have done that thing with that person, you cannot face the person again. And some men do not know how to withstand rejection. Some men don't know how to face rejection. And that was why he began to fight this lady. But you know, women, they know their power. As far as you close your leg as a woman, you will always come out tops. Very soon, Natasha will show you people more things. A lot of things are to be revealed in this matter. But immediately the man started acting, being, vindictive towards Natasha. I already knew. I already suspected this. And Akpabio is an embarrassment for the number 3 person. So people say, why didn't Akpabio is number 3 person? Why would Hembelembe? Why would ordinary president call him? That's disrespectful. They should respect the office. Respect the office of somebody who cannot respect himself. For a man who constantly, you come out to say, the social media people did this, the social media people did that. At the end of the day, you say, my wife called me. You are married, sir, but you are always instigating women. That's to show that, there are men who will come at you. They instigate and hit you so that you can then bow to their pressure. There are some men like that, but they don't know. These are very weak men, and that is why Natasha is one of those women. I remember at one man, when my father died, one man dead, was a local government chairman. This man, those who are from my local government may know the person I'm talking about. This man tried this rubbish. I looked at him and said, sir, my father just died. He has not even gone far. My dad made you chairman. That he supported you. He supported you financially. He also told people to vote for you, and he gave you money. He did so many things for you. He packaged you and presented you before people. I said, sir, my father died. Is this the well done you are telling my father at my age? How old was I when my father died? I was just a teenager, and you want to sleep with me? I said, make it make sense, sir. I said, I'm really disappointed in you. He gave me one bundle of money, and I threw the money at him. Something said, no, you paid your way to this place. How do you want to check back? I said, it's true. I went back and collected the bundle of money from him. I said, this is for my transport. Until today, that man cannot face me. In fact, when he wanted to go back for second term, I told him he won't even make it. Each time this man sees me till today, he's shaking because he knows that I had weakened him where it was so painful. Do you understand? So this is what Natasha has said. Guys, let me know your thoughts on the comment section because this man's sex tape is about to come to the